Day 7. I was gonna put this question off. This was a question that I received day 2 when my friend sent me a couple of things, and one of the last questions that she sent was, what is a daily life like? I told myself to put that question off partially so I could have content for the next couple of days, but also so I can actually, you know, actually understand what a day is being trapped in a fucking room for fucking ever. But my point is, a week in now, I've had productive days. I've had productive days. I've had not so productive days. I thought I would lay out what a average good day is like, a meh day is like, and a bad day. And like honestly, more often than you're gonna just have like a day. You're under quarantine. I really don't know what else to tell you. So yeah. Basically a rundown of a day. I also had to go grab, if you remember the first video that I made, no, second video that I made, there was a pamphlet that I was given that basically talked about rules of quarantine, the rules, and basically stuff that applied specifically to this hotel. Obviously, if you stay at a different place, it will vary. If you stay at home, it would also absolutely be different because you would be quarantining at home separately from your family, but you would still be at home. Whereas right now, I'm in a hotel, and so I do go by the rules and regulations that they have laid down for people who are quarantining there. The 3 meals that are provided at by the hotel are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 meals. I don't know why I felt the need to specify that. Breakfast is delivered at 7:30, lunch is noon sharp, and dinner is 6 p.m. The only things that are optional are lunch and dinner. If you don't need them, you can call downstairs and let them know that you don't need the hotel provided lunch. The initial fee that you paid into having your meals provided by the hotel will not be refunded, and according to this pamphlet, the funds will go into operating costs instead, which makes sense because you're staying for a while and yeah. The pamphlet also notes that if you don't pick up your food by the door within a minute, this thing says, but honestly I think it's a little bit more forgiving than that. If you don't pick up your food within a minute, they take it back downstairs because they can't have food just kind of like hanging at your door. Not safe, not sanitary, not ideal. So those are the 3 big things that I structure my day around, actually, just sort of my meal times. Obviously, this is a schedule that has me waking up at 7. Like, I want to be up before I have to go grab food, so the first couple of days I was here, I was waking up at 7:30 because the doorbell was so fucking loud, and then from there just carrying on the rest of my day until lunch. There is something that I found on the internet from a fitness or health person that I saw. The advice was, first thing in the morning, just start moving. Start exercising before your body even knows before your brain even catches up to what you're doing. I tried that this morning. I don't know how I feel about it. I had a heavy meal last night, which is why I was like, alright, I'll have enough fuel to work out today, first thing. I don't regret it because it meant that I had time to play Among Us with my friends. Breakfast at 7:30, so I know I need to be up at that time to get my food and bring it inside. And then go about the rest of the day until lunch. What I usually do is work out around 11, an hour before I receive lunch at the door. That leaves me time between 8 to 11 to like either watch a show, maybe write. I know I spent the third day, I think, like writing entirely, and that was the whole day right there. Small things like that, and then if I work out at 11, lunchtime, right, perfect, leads right into it. I like structuring my days around food. The concept of a food desert is just appalling as fuck and honestly should not be existing, but here we are. To be honest with you, I'm a really slow eater, partially because I get distracted by things a lot, and if I'm not hungry, I'll just not eat. I've gotten to a point where like I just kind of get distracted by things other than food. I don't know. The rest of the afternoon is just kind of yours to make good use of, especially because there's I can't tell which direction this window is facing. But what I try to do after lunch is take advantage of the fact that the sun is out It's pretty gorgeous. Natural light's nice. So if I'm doing any filming and stuff, it's typically around this time between lunch and dinner. So another thing is like if you have books that you can take with you, obviously read under natural light. It's a really good experience, and I think it's something that people can get back into. I don't know, not at the risk of sounding like old man yells at cloud. Read. It's nice. People should do that more. I brought my guitar with me. If you can do that, that's another thing that you can do. Basically, just something that's not in front of the screen for a too long period of time. I'm also where I'm like starting to exit the frame, but whatever, it's okay. By the time dinner rolls around, the sun will have like mostly set at that point. I think usually I'm getting ready to start editing the videos that I took earlier in the day, or I'm either still watching a show or, let's be real, reading fan fiction. The evenings get a little bit more fuzzy for me because it's like I'm starting to get ready to go to bed. Because I have to get up so early to pick up my breakfast, I end up having to go to sleep early too, and I haven't like forced myself to do that since maybe grade school. I mean, shit, I didn't even do this when I was working Starbucks, and I had to get up fucking early for Starbucks. Like, early Starbucks, and I would, like, function on 4 hours of sleep. Don't recommend it, don't do it. It's not sustainable. It's not. One thing that I have been using as a reference is something that I did when I was still in the States. It's a combination of two things. One is the body, mind, and soul structure that I do. Body is something in the day that is physical. So going back to my previous video, it could be chores, it could be exercise, it could be dancing by myself. As long as it gets my body moving, that fulfills the body requirement in the structure. Mind is something mentally stimulating. I don't know if this is something that I can just broadly say and generalize, but I think most of the time our minds do want some kind of stimulation. We want some kind of excitement, something that, I don't know, gets the neurons firing. Can be books, it can be a movie, it can be trying to learn something. I've been fighting the fucking green owl on Duolingo for years now, just to make sure that I keep practicing a different language. Remind that I'm bilingual already. Or guitar even, that's another thing of the mind that I just kind of like work on. So anything that stimulates my brain fulfills the mind requirement in the structure. Then soul is a combination of what my therapist has said to me is like, does it make me happy? Just be something for myself. I don't judge myself for it. That's like the big thing right there, because I didn't grow up in a great environment where I didn't judge the things that brought me pleasure. Video games being like the biggest thing. Obviously I'm not gaming much because I'm on a laptop and I don't want to kill that thing. I need it to live. Thank you. Shows fall under this category. Reading fanfic falls under that category. Anything that I find fun. And my therapist took it one step further by saying like, does it feed the soul? Does it fulfill me in some way or another that's just about myself? And I think that's a big thing for people to work on and recognize. Like, you can be happy, especially under this day and age and climate. Like, no, as long as your happiness isn't about harming people, be happy. Do things that make you happy and don't judge yourself for it. Try not to. Your general well-being, that's really important, especially right now. And when you're under quarantine, you literally can't go out. It will take toll on you. I have spent days where I'm just like in a haze, just like waiting for the time to go by, waiting for my next meal. Since I have another week left in this quarantine, I wouldn't be surprised if I have like another couple of days that are like that. It's a very loose structure and it's loose for a reason. 14 days under like actual strict confinement does affect the brain. I think you can minimize the trauma and impact that it will have on you, but there will be definite effects, I think, that will linger when I come out of quarantine. And I know for a fact that that's something that will apply as well to places that are not handling COVID as well. But hey, I hope this helps a little, because God knows we can use all the help we can get. Actually, so one more thing to note. Ooh, this camera's lopsided. But one more thing to note. Honestly, I've not made videos consistently for a week straight, ever. This was a fun experiment for myself, partially to try and get myself into the habit of creating content. I really don't like the idea of a content creator. I mean, I understand it. Don't get me wrong, but I have had to find my way into that kind of mindset and have it be healthy for me. Like, I'm not a product. I'm a person. I'm here to exist. There's nothing wrong with that. And it only happens that I like making things and making people laugh with the things that I make. And that's why I get into all of this. I do want to do it at my pace. I want to actually have something that I can present instead of just saying, oh yeah, here's a video of the day, call that a day. It's a video, you know? This is my 1 week mark video, but it will also mark the beginning of me taking my time with these videos and the things that I make. Just realized I have Tumblr open and so yeah, this is still very new to me. I'm used to being on the internet as a consumer, not a producer of any kind. I mean, I tried to, but like when you're 14 and again don't have the space for yourself and don't have the means to do it, you don't know what the fuck to do. Now I'm 27 going 28 and have a slight inkling on how things work. I don't know. If you're sticking around with me for this journey, thank you. If you're new, thank you. If you're not here, you're not here. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.